We are joined now by Erin Brockovich herself. She's perhaps best known as the namesake behind the film Erin Brockovich, for which actress Julia Roberts won an Oscar in 2000. But of course, Erin is famous in her own right. She was behind one of the largest direct action lawsuits in the US. Her research and determination helped uncover widespread contamination in the small American town of Hinckley. She's just returned from Oakey, though. Erin, thank you so much for joining us, first of all.
Thanks for having me.
Let me ask, why you? What can you bring to the small town of Oakey that's, you know, on the other side of the world for you?
Well, because what's happening on the other side of the world is happening here. We're heavily involved in the United States right now in the exact same thing that Oakey is facing, and that is PFOA, groundwater contamination. And it can wreak havoc on the environment and the health and the welfare of people. I did visit Oakey last year. I came back this year. Things have not gotten better. They're actually starting to get worse. So we had a community meeting, and it's caught the attention, which it's about time, because they have a situation brewing that needs to be addressed.
Yeah.
We just saw a range of maladies in Oakey, and I'm wondering, what evidence is there that you can draw a straight line between the chemicals that we're talking about and the illnesses that humans are facing in that town?
This is an issue that we're always facing in the United States, and we have like 88,000 chemicals on the market. And so when reports come out and they're peer-reviewed studies that cause our EPA to make a movement, which they did with the PFOA, they drastically reduced the level. And there's now these health advisories, and there are good peer-reviewed studies that have a causal link between PFOA and testicular cancer, pancreatic cancer, kidney cancer. We know it's very disruptive during pregnancies and fetuses, can cause skeletal issues, can cause thyroid conditions. We know kidney disease and ultimately liver disease.
I mean, this foam, or chemical rather, has been used around the world. We know that. But do you know of any other Australian towns where it's also being used?
We have a little bit of a problem very close to you here, Williamstown. There's also 30 to 60 other potential locations within Australia alone that have 30 to 60 that have PFOA contamination, so it could be a national widespread problem.
So right now you're in the process, the early stages of a class action lawsuit. I'm curious for you, what does fair compensation look like?
Oh my gosh, that is almost an impossible question to answer. I've been doing this, dare I date myself, for 25 years. And when you have a situation that destroys farmland, their livelihood, and jeopardizes their future health, it's so difficult to ever equate giving somebody money to give that back. I don't know that you can. Do they get moved? What will happen to the land? What happens to their livelihood? Are all the bores closed down? Is anybody still getting this water? If so, we need to find them a water source immediately. Livestock should not be drinking this water. They should not be being washed down in this water, and they are. And secondly, the children. It's important to understand PFOA bioaccumulates. It resists biodegradation in the environment, so it's almost impossible to remove it. And once it's in your body, it has a 20-year half-life. So you have children out there with levels of PFOA in their blood 100 times what we would expect to see at a national level. If there's a 20-year half-life on this, what is their future?
Do you see any similarities between Oakey and Hinckley? The case that perhaps you're most famous for, I guess?
Absolutely. And you know, when I began my work in Hinckley, I thought, my gosh, it was a one-off. Boy, were we wrong. It is just a problem throughout the United States. It is a problem at a global level. And we really need to begin to look at our practices of how we are disposing of waste. We cannot use our water supply as a dumping ground. We're going to have to look at technology on how we do that, how we clean up the mess that we've made. We have to understand at a global level, we destroy this planet, we destroy this environment, we are destroying ourselves. And we've got to work together, whether it be solicitor, community, with governments, and with companies, on how we're going to address this really serious issue. We can no longer afford to disassociate our health and our well-being from the environment.
Just a quick question. How have conversations with Defence gone? Have they been receptive?
These situations don't just come up. Somebody's known something somewhere, and for fear or greed, we don't say things and it gets pushed to the side. There has got to be a united front here because it is important to all of us, our water and our health. So I encourage this community to stay united. There's plenty of blame to go around. But if we sit and do that, we're going to go nowhere. You have a problem on your hands, it's going to blow up into a national problem, and it is our duty to protect the health and the welfare of these people, their property, their land, and their water.
Watch this space. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.